Morning, everyone. Once again, it is a great honor and a privilege to be here today to share with you just a few moments of your time about what Veterans Day is and what it means to me and what it should mean to you. Veterans Day is a day that we celebrate men and women who have sacrificed something in their lives to serve this great country. I remember a story from the American Revolution many years ago. General George Washington, who most of you know was our first president, he was also our first five-star general that commanded the Continental Army during the Revolution against the British. At the end of his term, when he decided to retire, he got up to speak before the Continental Congress. And a lot of people were not happy about the sacrifices that they had made. And they were prepared to shout him down. But right as he got ready to speak, he took a pair of glasses, put them on his nose, and he looked up and he said, "Gentlemen," he goes, "please pardon me, but I have grown blind in the service of this country. Come and take me by the hand, each and every one of you." And those that were prepared to shout him down were so moved by that speech, short as it was, that they got up and they walked over and they shook the general's hand and they thanked him for his service. And he went on to be recalled back into service as our very first president. That's sacrifice. Other sacrifices for men and women that have gone into the service. They've sacrificed careers. They put careers on hold. How many of you ever heard of a fellow named Pat Tillman? Some of you have, okay. He was a football player for the Arizona Cardinals, and he was a promising young man. One day he went to his coach, Joe Bugel, and he said, "Coach," he goes, "I'm getting out." He said, "Well, what do you mean you're getting out?" He goes, "I'm going in the Army. I'm giving up the glitz and the glamour of the NFL for a career in the Rangers, in the Army Rangers." And the coach said, "Well," he goes, "if you want to go, go ahead." He went in and he died in the line of service in Afghanistan. But the press made such a big deal about it. And I got to reading it in the newspaper. I said, why? If he wants to serve his country, let him go serve. That just shows that people are still willing today to sacrifice careers. People have sacrificed other things. I know some of these ladies and gentlemen here probably have served in Vietnam or Korea. And they've seen guys sacrifice arms, legs, feet, eyes, been burned beyond recognition. And when they came back home, some of them were shunned. But you know what? They gave a part of their life to the greater cause of the United States. You normally don't see me do this here, but I copied down some notes to make sure I got it right. These are two quotes, and I think they sum it up pretty well. One was by a fellow by the name of Thomas Paine, who wrote on the 23rd of December of 1776, "These are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will in this crisis shrink from the service of his country. But he that stands with it now deserves the love of men and women." People that are fair weather fans, I guess you could call them. When the crisis comes, they'll be far away. But those that are foul weather fans, those that persevere through the crisis, will have the thanks of men and women today. The other one was from President Kennedy's inaugural address in 1961. Let any nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we will pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and the success of liberty. This much we pledge. President Kennedy talked to us about sacrifice, because at the end of that speech he said, "And so, my fellow citizens, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." And it's a dirty shame that too many times a lot of people have gotten that backwards now. Ask not what you can do for your country, ask what your country can do for you. And that's wrong. America is about sacrifice, because without it, there wouldn't be a United States. Without it, there wouldn't be the beacon of freedom that the world can see shine upon that hill. So I hope you'll take today and just pause for a moment and think about the enormous sacrifice that men and women have made so that you can sit here today, so that you don't have to worry about being marched off to a prison camp. You don't have to worry about being told what you have to do when you leave this place and go into the workforce. You get to choose. And that's because of the sacrifices of men and women that have worn the uniform. In closing, let me say a couple of things. If you get a chance today, thank a vet for their service. Who knows, you might even get a war story or two. When you go home this evening, you commune with your Maker, whoever that might be. You thank God that you were born in a nation where this is all possible, where the best and brightest can be brought out, where people with hard work can appreciate the fruits of their labor. May you have clear skies and tailwinds in your flight through life. Thank you.